G'day everybody and welcome back. This is not the circumstances I want to be filming this under, not in the shed I want to be filming it under, working on the ground and all the rest of it, but look, I just want to get this thing running and I haven't got time to muck around. So yes, we're running on one cylinder. Let's get into it and have a look and find out why and then try and rectify it. Okay, so it can be a number of things. It could be compression, which it isn't, because I've already checked that. It could be fuel. But what have I told you? 9 out of 10 carburetor faults are electrical. Or it could be ignition. So it's actually easier to rule out the fuel problem by diagnosing an electrical fault than it is the other way around. And I've already gone through all this. I wasn't even going to film it, but then I thought I'd better do it, so because I haven't put out like a mechanical / workshop video for some time. So I just need to grab a few things and we can crack on. Like I said, I've already had a bit of a look. I know what the problem is, and but I'll run you through it and what to look for and how you what sort of methodology I use to drill down to the issue. Okay, so what can you do to find out where your ignition problem is coming from? Spark plugs is one way, one thing you can try. Remove the spark plugs, connect the high tension leads, wind the thing over, see if you've got any spark. I did that and there was no spark on the front cylinder. So then what I did was I took the two spark plugs and swapped them. So I put spark plug from the front cylinder into the back and vice versa. Did the problem shift with the spark plug? No, it stayed with the first cylinder. So then I swapped the coils over, left them in situ, just swapped the plugs, and to see whether or not the problem would shift with the coil. It didn't. So these are the igniters. There's two of them, one for a front cylinder, one for a back cylinder. This is the rear, this is the front on this bike anyway. They have a coil going to each of them, and also, so these two plugs are the coil and the ignition pickup or pulsar coil that lives down in here in the it's filthy, lives down here in the crankcase. There's two pulsar coils, so that's these guys. The other one is the coil. So what I do is I swap them over to see whether the problem shifted with the coil. It didn't. So then I swapped these plugs over to see if the problem shifted with the pickup coils, and it did. So it's a pickup coil. So then I put a ohms meter on it to test it, because according to the manual, from memory, because I did this weeks ago, from the manual I think it was 90 or 95 ohms is what is required at 20 degrees Celsius, and one of them was off the chart, so that was obviously the problem, and it was of course the one for the front cylinder. Okay, let's show you what we're talking about. Okay, so I've got an ohms meter here. It's my snap-on one because the other ones are at work. So let's hang on a tick. There you go, 96 ohms, which is what it should be. So let's check the other one. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's 103, which means it's probably okay. These coils can fail intermittently though, I have to say. I'm going to try this, because like I said, they can fail intermittently, where they failed. They haven't, technically it's not intermittent, it's failed, but they are okay until they get hot, and then they fail, because they expand, and then the break in the conductor opens up. But I'm going to try and start this. I reckon it's going to fire up. Righto, let's try it, shall we? Still only firing on that one cylinder. Front pipe's cold. Yep, there you have it. I will take them out of there. Across the strings we get 0 ohms. And then if we plug it in, we have an open circuit. It's definitely that pickup. So that means we have to change it, dump the oil, pop that cover off the side, and replace the pickup pulsar coils. Here we go. Alright, the oil's draining. I'm just trying to de-pin these plugs, because the new coils come with no new plugs. Right, voila, so we can reuse those. Okay, so let's this is the assembly here. Right, get some side cutters, cut these cable ties, and get some Allen keys and some Spaniards, and start removing shit. Here we go. Rightio, it's a little tap, load it up a bit of a tappy tap tap. Here we go. And we got to try and get it off the magnets on the alternator, so that's why we go. All right. Let's see if we can get you in here. Oh, the struggle's real. Well, I'll get my leg out of the way, pick my camera back up. God damn it. Like I said, it's not the ideal circumstances, but here we are. Okay, hopefully you can see that. We're on top dead center, horizontal cylinder. And these two marks on the flywheel denote the location of the pickup coils. We need to obviously replace these and keep them in the same position. There's also an air gap that needs to be maintained between the, there's a wider part of the flywheel just here, that's the trigger that passes the pulsar coil, and there needs to be a gap, air gap of 0.6 to 0.8 of a millimetre from memory. So let's just try and dig out a 3mm Allen key, which I'll put down somewhere. Oh, I've got a little torch here, I hope you can see that. Dot pickup coil, dot pickup coil. There's a line in the pickup coil that lines up with the dot. And just for shits and giggles, I'm going to work around the camera as well. The worst part for me is going to be cleaning up all the old bloody 3-bond. I hate that shit. Well, no, I don't hate that shit. I hate that cleaning. I'm just going to move this camera. Hopefully you're not too close. The struggle's real. Right, hopefully that's okay. I can't see very well because I've got glare coming in off my left from the sunshine outside, and I've got not very good eyeballs. So at some stage I'll probably have to give you the flick and lie on the floor so I can see what I'm doing. But for now, I'm okay. That's one out of the way. Yeah, so the ohms reading on these is 90 to 105 ohms. And if you remember, it read 105 ohms when I first walked in, and then once I fired it up, where'd that go? Stuck to the coil, I would reckon. Yeah, when I fired it up, it lost that cylinder immediately, and we had the open circuit reading. There he is. Let's loosen that gland off. Just feeding the gland nut off. And the seal for the gland nut off. Okay, lovely jubbly. This is a new one, and the new one is genuine Ducati. Now you're all going to get on there and say, oh, you could buy a bloody aftermarket this, that and the other. Yeah, I know. There's a red and white one, which is the front cylinder, and then the other one is yellow and black. Aussies will get it. Well, except for those who follow rugby league. That guy will go there, and that guy will go there. And of course, it's the red and white one because it's number one, and because of where it fires. So it fires there, and then it fires here. Right, this is the seal for the gland nut. And this is the gland nut itself, making sure it goes on in the right direction. Righto, let's pop these back on. So the beauty of this is that there's not enough room in the holes for the bolts for this to be moved around a great deal. So basically just bolt them up and they should be good to go. Rotary ho. All right. Terminal spanner. And of course that has a rubber bungo over it. Right. So now I need some Scotch-Brite, some brake clean, and I need to get in and scrub all this, and I don't think I've got any Scotch-Brite or brake clean, so I might have to go for a drive. So I'm just going to turn this off now and I'll be back. That was super tedious and boring. Sticks like shit to a blanket, that 3-bond. It's hard to get off, but we have. So I'm just going to lay it up with some fresh stuff now, and then where are you? I'm going to lay it up. Going to lay it up with some fresh stuff now, and then let that set up while I finish off the rest and tidy it up. Put new oil in it. Okay, the side cover is back on, drain lines, clutch slave, sprocket cover, gear lever, actuation, and side stand, and everything else. So that's all back together. I've also topped it up with oil. So now, just need to connect those wires, and because I wasn't sure if it mattered, I took photographs of which position the wires were in, and this one, the red wire was on the right and the white was on the left. Red was on the right, white was on the left. Like I said, I'm not sure if it matters, but just in case. And on the other side, yellow was on the right and black was on the left. Okay, I'll just confirm that. Yep, black on the left, yellow on the right. Right. Now hopefully let's give it a go, shall we? See if it fires up. Idles. That sounds better. Alright, so now all I've got to do is put the tank on, put the fairing on, put the seat on, and I can go for a ride if I want to, but I'm probably not going to. Alright, so hopefully that helps out anyone who might be suffering the same kind of fate. Those coils, those pulsar coils do fail after a number of years, or a number of cycles. They just eventually break down. And this bike was, they've been in there since 1996, so I'm quite happy to put another brand new Ducati set back in. So yeah, see if you can get the problem to follow a component. Is it the plug? Is it the lead? Is it the coil? Is it the igniter unit? Is it the pulsar coil? So yeah, you swap components over and try and get it to follow a component. Once you've nailed that down, it's pretty easy from there. And if all of the electrics checked out, well then you're pulling carburetors off and stripping them apart and trying to find what's wrong there. But like I said, we were fortunate enough to get on top of this one. Thanks to Todd Patterson from Paddo's Motorcycle Centre over in Bunbury for sourcing those for me. Always a pleasure to deal with those guys. And thank you for watching. Ride safe. I'll catch you next time on Andy's Motorcycle Obsessions. Bye for now.